overall have to be happy and pleased. Obviously you go through a game, and we're going to watch film tonight and tomorrow, and be some things that maybe got away from us. Wish we could have done better. I didn't think we were awesome in that fourth quarter, but I thought our defense really, for the most part, during three quarters. There's maybe one stretch in the second quarter where I think they hit 3 threes. I think that was the only 3 threes that they hit during the game. So I thought, our defense was really good, and then all of a sudden, if you outscore them from the arc by 36 points, that's going to bode well for you. So our offense, I thought, was good and really great at times. But I also think it's more of a challenge than people realize when you're practicing for 5 months and really the last 6 weeks of playing a certain way and getting ready for the season. And then, we really didn't do a whole lot of zone offense really until the last few days. So I think we knew that'd be a little bit of a challenge. They did challenge us. I thought they made great adjustments after the first 5 minutes. We had to keep adjusting. But I thought overall, have to feel pleased. We've got 3 experienced players in our system that are very good, and they did their thing tonight, which was awesome to see. Yeah, I know, a disappointment. I think when I watched the game, or I started watching the film for them last weekend, I just felt, Maggie's going to have the ball in the middle of the court. She's going to do this. I was like, that kid's going to have a triple-double in her first game of the year. When that's the ceiling right there, that's kind of I wouldn't even call it the expectation. She didn't get that, but I'll tell you what, man, 28, 13, and 6 is about as impressive and as solid a performance as you could have. And I just thought we were really good when she was on the floor. She came out for that stretch in that second quarter, and it was like, okay, we got to get her back in there just to make some things happen. I thought she was really good early. I don't know what point she scored. I think she had the and one at some point in the second quarter, but I thought she moved the basketball and just controlled the game in the first quarter. And then that third quarter had a stretch where it was just like, all right, this is mine. Even in the second quarter, we're scoring the basketball. But just a calming presence. I think our players would tell you that. For me, she's a calming presence out there. But just overall, such a good player. And you look at the 28-13 and 6. She drew 7 fouls. Probably got a few more there. I think her plus minus was maybe over 40 at one stretch during 25 minutes or something like that. So she's a dominant player, and very glad that she's on our side.
34-point win, really exciting. But can you take a bunch away from this in terms of preparing for Friday and the opponent you have to face in Texas?
Yes, because I think some of our newer players and inexperienced players got their feet on the floor. I think to do that and throw that in there, the first game against Texas is tough. So I think that we can take from it. I don't know if you could have had 2 more opposite teams to prepare for with regard to Mount St. Mary's, where we expected to see some press, but some really probably 40 minutes of zone. They did some good matchup stuff out of there, whereas Texas is going to really get after you man-to-man. I don't expect Vic Schaefer to zone a whole lot here. I think he has a lot of pride in how tough his kids are, how well they play man-to-man defense. We saw that here last year. Been watching him for a long time, and especially last year after we played him on their Final Four run. I thought the urgency and kind of I thought their adjustment tonight was really to get a little more physical and really get all over us with the basketball. About halfway through that first quarter, we're going to see that this coming weekend. So hopefully that helps us. I think a little bit playing them last year maybe helps, but that was so long ago. And they're a different animal. I think what are they, 4th in the country? I mean, if there's 3 teams better than them, with all due respect to them, because I know there's some really good teams across the country, but they're a very physically imposing team and very well coached, very tough, physical, and now they're experienced, even more experienced than what we saw them last year. So they'll be a test, no doubt.
We did a really good job for this being our first game. We have 4 freshmen through 2 grads, 3 sophomores who didn't really get a lot of playing time last year, so a lot of new faces. I think Ava obviously did a really good job knocking down threes, told her to shoot confidently. I think she did in that fourth quarter. I think T came in, did her job. I think Skylar Travis came in and did a really good job too. Alicia got a bunch of steals for us, got a bunch of defensive stops, so did Rain. And I'm really happy with how we played. Obviously there's a lot to work on, but for this being a first game, I'm really happy.
Spiders went up 20-4 and you hadn't scored. Good sign?
Very good sign, yes. I was telling the people on ESPN, like, I was just trying to, get a feel for the zone. I knew, obviously, a bunch of teams are going to focus on me and Rachel, so I was just trying to, figure out what they were trying to take away. And as we kind of got going, I saw a lot of holes in the zone, so once I saw that, I just kind of got going.
Of our bloody noses, not common for you. Some people get them, some people don't. Yes.
Knock on wood, I don't usually get a bunch of bloody noses. For as much times as I get hit in the nose, it doesn't really bleed. So that was an issue.
Can I ask you about Friday in Madison Booker? I don't know how close you got or not close you got over the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Could you sort of describe the relationship, if there is one, based on those 3 or 4 days out in Colorado?
Yeah, I'm not like super close with her. Obviously, we were on the same team. I was going against each other. Like, I'm not like super close with her, but she was really nice, and she did a good job of making me feel comfortable out there. She'd been there plenty of times, so yeah, she was nice, and she knows the game really well. She's a super smart player, so as excited I am to go against her, I know that she's going to be a handful for us.
Speaking of that was last year. I think she had 25,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't score that much. They were in the 60s. Just say a word or two about her game.
Yeah, I mean, she's an All-American for a reason, one of the best players in the country. She reminds me a lot of, pro players. I think that she could be a problem in the league right now if she were to go. So, yeah, she's a really great player, and I know we're going to have to lock in on her and focus on her tendencies.
Ava, I'm John O'Connor from the newspaper here.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I wonder if you could share your thoughts about playing your first game and your first Division I experience.
Yeah, obviously very exciting. I was definitely nervous going into today, but I have a locker room full of teammates that are only supportive. And as long as they believe in me, I'll do my part and make sure I believe in myself. And just going out there and having some fun. And honestly, I couldn't tell you what I was really thinking. I was just playing basketball, so having fun with it.
Could you say a word or two about the impact that Maggie has and what that means to people who play with her?
Yeah, I mean, in making the decision to come to Richmond, a big part of that is Maggie Dugan plays here. So just to have her in practice every day in the locker room, we bond over our Taylor Swift love and on our sports and stuff. So just as how supportive she is and her leadership says a lot about her, and just gonna carry us through a lot of this season, and we're just an honor to play next to her.
Thanks.
Obviously, in high school, you developed the three. Talk a little bit about first game shooting threes.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I work on a lot, and I'm on the floor to do. So if I'm open, let it fly, and everyone encouraged me to do so. So if I'm open, I'm going to let it fly.